So this week we have 6 movies to tell you about because we watched one in the cinema, which was The Strangers Chapter 1.
I would say it's kind of like the first movie.
If you watched I think it was 2006 or 2008 version, the one with Liv Tyler, The Strangers. This one is kind of, I would say, a reboot of that.
A reboot with a little bit of changes, but it's got the classics.
Hence why a reboot, not remake. It's got quite a few of the classic tropes, but still worth a watch if you're into that kind of thing, home invasion kind of thrillers. By the way, what are we scoring The Strangers Chapter 1?
I think we said 3.5.
I would say between 3 and 3.5. The original one is better.
Yeah, this one has a little bit like, the drama of it is a bit exaggerated, I think.
Yes. Then we watched Me Time, Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg. Kevin Hart's a stay-at-home dad, and he goes with his best friend for his 44th birthday, and they get up to all kinds of shenanigans.
3.5.
I think that's fair.
Then
we watched Two Night Stand, which is basically a rom-com. It's with Miles Teller and Annalie or Leo Tipton. It's pretty good. It's two 20-somethings have a one-night stand, and then they're in Brooklyn, they get snowed in, so they're forced to have a 2-night stand and forced to actually get to know each other. Typical rom-com tropes. But 3 out of 5?
3.5.
3.5, okay. I say 3, she says 3.5.
That's always better.
Then we watched Traffic. Traffic is about a couple going away for a long weekend, and then there's attempts to traffic the female lead. And that's all we're going to say because the rest would be spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, it's quite a good movie. Lots of...
Pretty solid. I would say also like 3.5.
3.5. I think it's a very 3.5 week so far.
Pretty much. Then after that, we watched Cop Car. So this wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was kind of funny. 2 probably 12, 13-year-olds, 10-year-olds around there. They runaways and they get to an abandoned cop car.
But there's funny moments. It's like this weird kind of funny. It's hard to explain.
And they steal the cop car. And the cop car belongs to a cop who's played by Kevin Bacon. And then it's their shenanigans with the cop car and his pursuit to find them. But it's kind of a thriller, but it was pretty good. I would say I was torn. It could be anywhere from 2 out of 5 to 5 out of 5. It's really slow. It's a slow burn, but it's still really good.
3.
I think that's fair. And then lastly, we watched The Woman in the Window with Amy Adams. Pretty solid movie. An agoraphobic woman. She kind of just peers through a window at the new neighbors that moved in, and she sees some rather suspect things, and she starts to investigate, but people don't believe her because she's fairly heavily medicated because of her anxiety and agoraphobia.
Yeah.
And that's all we can say with that's a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's a must watch. I think that was the movie.
The Woman in the Window. That's the movie of the weekend.
Movie of the weekend, and also the one with like Kevin Hart and
Me Time.
The Me Time was quite good as a comedy.
Pretty solid.